Alright guys, and welcome back to the Saints VD channel for some of the content for our match preview ahead of Saturday's trip up to North London to face Arsenal at the Emirates. We're back from the international break, no more international football until March. Pretty happy about that, focus on club football once again, no more breaks every 4 weeks. And it kind of feels like with this game, I know we've lost a good few recently, but potentially there's something to take away from this one, and we'll get into that later on in the video. Also, let us know if you like the new intro. Thought it was time to make a change because we've had it, well, for the last year. Spice things up a little bit. But before we get into the video, do make sure you're subscribed and you have notifications turned on. We have got some very exciting stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks as we get into Christmas time. We also recently hit 2,000 subscribers, so thank you very much for that. Next target is 5k. We're going to take a while to get there, but with your support, hopefully we can get there whenever. Also, make sure you follow us on our socials. Right, let's get into the video. Of course, as we always do in these match previews, we've got to talk about the last game before the international break. Really disappointing 2-1 home defeat to Everton. It was the start of our must-win fixture run, and we lost already, so it's off to a great start. And what I was most disappointed about was the performance. After going to Man City and competing for, I think, 80 minutes, arguably the whole game, putting in such a strong performance, and then to go to our home ground and perform against a side that was very close to us in the table the way we did was just shocking. Over the whole 90 minutes we probably had a 10-15 minute spell that was strong and in which we equalised, and after we equalised you would have thought we'd push on, but we'd never pushed on to get the winner. We were always going to settle for the point, it seemed, which was just not good enough, and of course inevitably Everton scored and won the game. And that's been the story of our season so far. Home games have not gone well at all, whereas away from home we've been a little bit stronger, picked up a lot more points of course, and with Arsenal in a bit of a jeopardy at the moment, that's why it feels like potentially we could smell blood and there might be something there for us. So as it stands, we are 19th, 3 points off of safety. If we win against Arsenal, we won't be out of the relegation zone because of our goal difference, but on Saturday evening we could be out of the relegation zone, or we could be 9 points adrift from safety. So big 2 games coming up, but big run, like I've said plenty of times over the last few weeks. You know, given that we lost at Everton, this was the only game in the big run up to Christmas where on paper we're not really looking to get anything from it, but already now kind of have to play catch up, and if we get a win somehow on Saturday, I think we'll be level in terms of expectations, not be exceeding, if that makes sense, based on the amount of points we've picked up at this time. And of course a win breeds confidence, even picking up a point against a big side breeds confidence, and hopefully we can take something and put in a good performance on Saturday, take that into the next couple of games, because after Arsenal we've got 2 huge home games in a matter of days. I think it's 4 days, the Watford and Norwich games, so yeah, just so huge for our season. But let's talk about Arsenal, the opponents on Saturday. They also have had a pretty poor season for their standards, 8 points away from the top 4 already, sat in 6th. It's not gone well for them at all. The same problems yet again. Away form has been dreadful, they're conceding too many goals. Ways, you know, Aubameyang and Lacazette seem to be scoring and saving them at times, but it just hasn't been good enough from them, especially in this season where, you know, a lot of the top 6 just haven't been performing to their expected levels. You know, there's an opportunity to get in the top 4 like there was last season, which they sort of bluffed their lines. You know, 8 points away from it already, but then I guess you'd rather be 8 points away from it after 12 games than after 38, of course. The majority of the fan base are now Emery out, it seems. There's unrest surrounding the players. Like I've said, the defence is shocking. Yeah, it honestly feels like there could be something for us there, but we've got similar problems. Confidence is at an all-time low. The manager looks like he doesn't know what he's doing at the moment. It could be a pretty poor game, we'll have to see. But our record away at Arsenal over the recent years hasn't been great. We've had a couple wins there in the League Cup, but I think we've only picked up 1 point there in the league since our promotion, and so a win at Arsenal is long overdue in the league. Could it be Saturday? It kind of feels like there's a good opportunity to somehow win, which doesn't really make sense based on our form. But 2 years ago when we went there with Mark Hughes was probably the best opportunity we've had to win there. But I do feel like there's an opportunity here. Do I think we'll win? No, but we'll get on to my prediction later on. But putting up a good performance, Arsenal aren't playing well, put them under pressure, we could take something. But of course, I'm no expert on Arsenal, so I've asked my good mate Bav to give you guys all the lowdown of what's happened at the Emirates so far this season. Bav, mate, take it away.
Yo guys, what's going on, man? At BHAVSS here. I'm actually in the AFTV studio right now, so you know, yeah, it's pretty decent. So in terms of what I feel about Arsenal so far this season, it's been very hard to watch. It's been very boring. Going to the Emirates, I nearly fall asleep. Emery Ball is obviously the worst thing to ever happen to my club. And yeah, just so far this season, I've just seen Arsenal become worse and worse, and the players just don't look like they were last year. At the start of last season, we looked so much more energetic, so much more better, so much more fluency to our game, and that this year it's just been something out of, you know, the worst possible thing I could see, and this is nearly as bad, actually it's much worse than what it was in terms of Wenger's final year. So I've never actually seen Arsenal as bad, but right now, what can I say is, man, I just want Emery as fast as possible out of this club. In terms of how I feel like we've managed with the Europa League commitments, we've been in this tournament for 3-4 years now, so we're used to this. The players should be used to this, which isn't the best thing, but at the same time, it helps out. So I feel we've dealt with it perfectly fine. We've not struggled because of the Europa League. We've struggled because we're just simply not good enough at the moment, and that's mainly down to Unai Emery and his coaching ability and his tactics. They're awful, they're boring, and I just feel like in terms of Arsenal in the Europa League, obviously it will get harder as the competition goes further forwards and we have to play our better team, but right now it's given a chance to play some youngsters, and in fact I actually prefer to watch Arsenal right now in the Europa League than I prefer to watch Arsenal in the Premier League, and that's because we play youngsters there and we seem to play with a bit more confidence and fluency, and it just looks better to watch Arsenal. So in fact I am actually liking the Europa League this season. Can't believe I'm saying that. In terms of the team lineup, I don't think it'll be tinkered that much. I think it's the same team. It's the first team we have right now. It's not the best of teams, but it's a team that we're going to play. In the Europa League, obviously, as I've said, we play a lot of youngsters, the players that don't get to play in the Premier League. And there's some players that play in the Europa League that should be playing in the Premier League squad, but they obviously don't. So I don't think he'll tinker too much. But you never know with Unai Emery. So it's like when Emery fixes a team, it's like randomising a foot draft. You just never know. In terms of what I feel about Southampton as an outsider, obviously I've seen the results you might be getting, and you remember getting piped. 9-0 at home against Leicester City is never the best thing. And obviously you went to City and you nearly actually got a result there, but I've not really watched Southampton a lot this season. The only game I actually watched was the 9-0, so it's not the best of reflections. So as an outsider, you guys do look like you're struggling, but I do obviously rate Hasenhuttl as a manager. In terms of who I feel will be the key player for Arsenal this Saturday, it's got to be Nicolas Pepe. He's the player for me that I need to see him perform. We paid a lot of money for him, and I want to see him play with Lacazette, with Aubameyang, with Ozil, and if they all play, I think we'll have a field day against you lot. I mean, you lot conceded 9 goals to Leicester. Right now they're great, obviously, but again, Jose Perez, Jamie Vardy, they're great players, but are they Aubameyang? Are they Lacazette? Are they Pepe? So I think personally Nicolas Pepe is the one that's going to be key to watch. And to end this up, finally, my score prediction for the game. I'm not confident because Arsenal are not the best right now, but at the same time, Southampton are not the best either. So considering we're home, I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory. I think we'll score a few goals, but we will definitely concede because Arsenal just don't know how to defend. But yeah, 3-1 Arsenal. And if we don't win, Unai Emery can still get out of my club.
Thank you very much, mate, for that. See you on Saturday. Of course, I'll put all of his links in the description below. On to prediction time. Well, I've been thinking about this for the last 2 weeks, and there's a different confidence surrounding me when we play away from home. It's really strange, but when we're away, I'm a lot more confident than with the games at home, which may hinder our chances of picking up the points we need to over the next couple of weeks, because most of our games are at home. Of course, their attack is always dangerous. You know, Aubameyang, Lacazette, just fantastic players. Nicolas Pepe hasn't started his Arsenal career the way the fans would have liked him to, but any game, it seems he's got the quality to show up, and maybe against Southampton is the game that starts his career as an Arsenal player. I do believe if we play on the front foot, start well, put loads of pressure on them, especially the defenders. You know, Ings running in behind, maybe Buffal starts, Redmond putting balls into the box. Who knows? It depends on who starts, of course. Moussa Djenepo running at defence. I think if he starts, he could cause some of the Arsenal players, cause lots of problems for the Arsenal defenders if he starts on Saturday. But it's a lot of ifs at the moment, so we have to perform to get anything from the game. You know how poor Arsenal have been. You know, they haven't actually lost at home yet this season, so we're going to have to be on top form to take anything, regardless of how poorly they've been playing. And I'm going to go optimistic. I'm going to stick with my heart's prediction, because in my head I'm thinking a loss, sort of 2-1. I do think we'll score, but I'm going to go for 2-2. I think we're going to get a draw. Yeah, it's about time we pick some more points up. I don't think we're going to win it, of course not. I just think it's too big an ask. And Arsenal needs to prove themselves to their fans. They need a reaction. It could go so many ways. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Do make sure you have liked the video if you did enjoy it. Let us know your score predictions in the comment section below. Are you expecting a win? Do you think we can take something from the game, or do you think it's just a loss already? Make sure you're following us on all of our socials, subscribe with notifications turned on as well. And we'll see you tomorrow for our predicted lineup ahead of Saturday's trip. See you soon, guys.